What is up, everyone? This is Kyle from the TF Review, and today we're going to be taking a look at ToyWorld's TW-T02. This is Not-Throttlebot Aurora. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys enjoy this review. So, just taking a quick look at the packaging. Of course, this is the standard packaging for the Not-Throttlebots, as I like to call them. Now, these Not-Throttlebots has been something I've kind of been interested in for a little while now, but I've never really wanted to pull the trigger. They've just kind of been there, and they've been cool. You know, I've seen them, and I've been interested in them, and then they've just kind of been there, a lot like the actual G1 characters, where they're just kind of there, you like them, and they have their moments, but they've just been kind of sitting there. It wasn't until ToyWorld released the combined mode, the colored images of Gestalt, that I said, holy crap, I absolutely adore the way this thing looks. And there's that one image of him kind of pointing where he just looks so epic. Now, the Throttlebots, they're not normally a combiner, but there's something about that colorful, very well-proportioned aesthetic that I really like. So I figured I would start with Aurora here. So taking a quick look at the packaging, this is, of course, ToyWorld Aurora TW-T02. It says not for anyone under the age of 15 at all on the side. Has a nice picture of the back of the toy. On the back, it has a nice picture of the front of the toy. Made in China. Again, not pretty basic, really. And right here, you have choking hazards. Small parts. That's basically it. When you open the package, he just comes like this. You can always pull him out. Of course, great looking logo, great looking display piece. You can take this, put this to the side, you know, typical instructions, and of course a real nice looking card. So, you know, that's cool. So, here we have Not-Throttlebot Aurora, who is based on Throttlebot Searchlight. And Searchlight is, he was originally a Ford RS200. This is, of course, now a new modern take based on the Range Rover Evoque. Obviously not a licensed toy. And I really like Range Rovers. That's one of the main selling points for this toy for me. But yeah, they did get the likeness really well. It's very well done. I would say my biggest complaint are the panel lines. I think they're just a little bit too noticeable. For example, up here in the chest. And then, of course, the car looks like it's split up into just a whole bunch of pieces. And back here around the back. And while we're on the back, you also notice he has a license plate. This license plate does come off. And that actually reveals what will become the combiner port for Gestalt when that eventually comes around. He rolls really well, you know, he's got some nice detail. And it's overall a solid looking vehicle mode. Now it does come with this weapon. Looks kind of like a boombox. And this weapon just folds up. It's not really anything very special, it's just kind of a blaster. And it does peg under here. There we go. And it just pegs under there. Wheel it around, it's in there nice and good. Really, the only way to get it out after you've got it pegged in is to start transforming the figure, because it's in there pretty good. His transformation is a lot of fun. It's really, really intuitive. And it's one of those transformations where there's just kind of a million different ways you can do it. So let's go ahead, let's start. First by unpegging the front end, and that of course drops the weapon. Put that to the side for now. And now what we can do is we can just start focusing on his legs, and his legs just pull out like that because they're in a double joint that have been folded up. And we can just worry about this upper half a little bit later. Now his legs, now the doors, they do just pull out and flip around, and then you can kind of push him back in. And you can situate his feet however you would like. And you can do the same on this side. Pull it out, push it in, situate his feet, however you'd like. And that's basically it for his legs. They're very simple. Now onto his upper body, which is where all the confusing shit is. We basically just want to unpeg his arms, and his arms are actually the back windows. And we can take these wheel parts and push them to the side, back for now. His arms, you'll notice they do pivot outwards in their own ball joints. Just need to pivot out, push it up. Do the same thing around here. Pivot out, and then push it up. Now what we can do is take this window piece, and we just slide it forward. And that gives him a little more clearance on his double joint. Alright, now moving on to the back. We're going to take these two panels that we flipped around a little bit earlier. We're just going to peg them together. And that actually looks really nice. I dig that. Then we're going to take this back piece, fold it down. I'm going to take his head, pop it up. And then now his chest, which is on this weird looking joint, this just kind of spins around and then it folds up into itself and it locks into place. And that's basically it for Aurora's transformation. And oh yeah, I forgot, his wheels, they do fold inwards as well as his windows. So this all kind of, and it's a nice little, and it's really nice and tight. So here we have Aurora in his robot mode, and I do have to say this is probably one of my favorite deluxe scaled figures. Of course I dropped it. We've gotten in a long time. It's so much fun. The transformation is very simple, but it's really intuitive. It's not finicky or fragile. It's just a sturdy, good, fun deluxe scaled figure. And the plastic quality too is something I wanted to bring up. Typically, a lot of third-party companies, they like to go with more of a matted-looking plastic. This plastic actually reminds me of the ABS that Lego uses, surprisingly. And it's really glossy, really reflective, and it's got a real nice feel in hand. One of the absolute highlights of this figure, in my opinion, is this whole back section. The way it utilizes the kibble, it does a great job. There are 2 pegs and 2 peg holes, and they would look like they would line up, but they don't peg in. So it just kind of sits. I'm not sure what that's about, but it is kind of, you know, I just wish it would peg in. That would just make this so much better for me. But, you know, as long as you're not flipping it up like that, it's really not too much of an issue. And the wheels, it looks like a jetpack, kind of. And I dig that. I love, you know, clever utilization of backpacks, because this does it really well. In terms of articulation, he's got a lot of articulation. He's got ball jointed shoulders. He's got a very tight upper bicep swivel. I thought he didn't have one at first, but I kind of had to really play with it, but it's there. His arms do fold 90 degrees exactly, and his hands do rotate as well, but again, that's kind of tight. He does have a nice waist swivel with a random detent in the center. His legs are on universal joints, can move in and out, forward, back, bend at the knees. They do have an upper thigh swivel, and no feet articulation, but the front bumpers, they can fold in and out, and while they're not actually doing anything to help the stabilization of the figure, it does make it look nice when you're giving a nice wide A stance. And that also I can dig. Now, a lot of people aren't fans of this head sculpt. I personally really like it, and I think the light piping is some of the best we've seen. Let's see. There you go. Some really nice, very full back head light piping. And in terms of articulation, it just kind of moves up and down. Not very much, and left and right. But this is exactly how Throttlebot Searchlight was, and I think they captured it perfectly. Lastly, you can take his weapon and go ahead, stick it into his hand, and he just looks really nice. I dig this figure so much. That does it for this look at ToyWorld Aurora. If you were like me and you saw the pictures of Gestalt and you were like, oh wow, that's a hot piece of plastic right there, and you didn't previously own any of these figures, I think Aurora is the best place to start, because A, he's on sale for $30 at Big Bad Toy Store, which is an insane deal for a figure of this quality. Not to mention, if it turns out you're not a fan of the Not-Throttlebots or Gestalt, you didn't actually end up making a significant investment, so there's that as well. I would have to say I do highly recommend this figure. Its biggest flaws, in my opinion, are the vehicle mode, which is a little random. As much as I like Range Rovers, I think that, it's really random. And the panel seams, they do break it up a lot, and it's kind of hard. You just have to squeeze it together as tight as you can in order to get it, and that hurts the vehicle mode as well. The robot mode is a lot of fun. The transformation is a ton of fun. And again, highly recommend this figure if you pick them up. So, that does it for this review, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to check back for more Transformers reviews and much, much more. I post videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.